do well from there. So that's seems like what we're going to see. Gragas taken out, Elise and Thresh already down, and there's the Evelyn as well. So Cassidy, the final ban from Godsend. Xenics Storm, will you take Lulu right off the bat here?
Follow the trend or buck the trend? That's the question right now. Lulu has been pretty strong, even today.
And Renekton. Okay.
Okay. Huh. All right. Lee Sin immediately locked in for Shrink.
And there's the Lulu. Yeah, the Renekton, such a strong pick if you want to push lanes early and you're confident in your top lane synergy with your jungle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of punishment that can happen up there, but now that you're going to have to figure out another aggressive early game jungler if they want to kind of maximize that Renekton pick. We talked a little bit about that last game. Caitlyn Annie.
Okay, yeah, good solid bot lane.
Very strong lane.
Very strong and very safe as well.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of poke potential, really good disengage, hard to gank that lane.
Good if you're going to go for your bot lane before the other 2 picks. And so 2 picks over to Godsend.
They can still take Lucian here, but they may take Sivir and try and play it into Caitlyn. Not the easiest thing to do.
Do you take Shyvana here too? I guess you might. I think it would be a good idea, especially with that Caitlyn pickup on the other side. Oh, I don't think they're going to pick that now. I mean, they could.
I think Lucian and Nautilus might be okay, actually, but they're still saving saving that support pick for last.
I think they should save it. Sivir locked in, and Shyvana. 5 seconds remaining. I'd imagine we're going to see Railgun take that to the top lane. There it is, locked in. All right, so the final 2 picks for Xenics Storm, OQ and Inc. picking the mid and the jungler for their team. And will we see Alvingo play Katarina in mid? That would be interesting. Pantheon jungle, pretty par for the course these days, but oh, Katarina locked in. That's fascinating, actually. Huh.
So much early roam pressure. You know, I talked about Pantheon last game.
Please, yes.
As being my pick for the composition with Renekton.
Nice.
It'll be support Veigar.
That's actually such a good pick against Katarina. That's a really long range to knock her out of Death Lotus from, actually, with his cage. Yeah, I saw him hover over that, and I'm like, all right, that's actually perfect. Lock that in right now. Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm not going to really slow down Katarina's ability to roam, however, but the Pantheon, one of the best early game junglers to pair with Renekton. The kill potential extremely high on those 2 picks together, and they're going to be going after Railgun in the top lane if they're smart.
And there is Google. Going to be playing that support Veigar. I'm so pumped. It's going to be awesome. I don't even care if they win, man. I mean, Google's shown us some great support picks. Nautilus, Trundle, Veigar.
Well,
Very cool.
This isn't the first time that anybody's played support Veigar, but it is good.
He can be a legit good support, yeah.
Gives you good harassment early on in the lane, too.
Oh, yeah. You create such a huge zone with this cage as well that it's very easy to zone people out, to trap people, to trade fairly well with, and I think it's a great anti-Pantheon pick as well, too.
I will say that I think support Veigar is better with Nidalee in the mid, just because it's
I agree.
The siege. You use support Veigar for the siege because you could basically zone an entire team off tower with Event Horizon and then poke them down or force people into places where it's quite easy to land the spear.
Absolutely. I agree. Well, there you have it, guys. The game's loaded up. Xenics Storm or Godsend, who will win a chance to play for a spot in Champion Spring? Find out. And here we are. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Xenics Storm versus Godsend. Match 1 in our wildcard group here on Champion Spring. The winner moves on. The loser goes home. Google feeling lucky with that Veigar skin, I guess. That makes me want to do a Ian Malcolm laugh from Jurassic Park.
You made a Google and a Leprechaun joke at the same time.
I know.
Damn, I'm impressed.
Next level, right? Yeah, this is what unorthodox support picks do for me, man. It's like
they power you up.
It's like, you know, this for me as a caster is like NOS for Vin Diesel's car. That's what it's like.
미니언 생성까지 30초
I'm sure that's
남았습니다.
how his car feels. I don't know.
So
I lost it.
you're basically a car. You're Vin Diesel's car.
I am too fast, too furious. That's what they tell me.
Does he drive
Ride
you?
or die, man. What?
You gonna give Vin Diesel a ride?
No. If he'd let me drive one of his cars, I'd be like, hop in the passenger
미니언들이
seat, man.
생성되었습니다.
But if he wanted to be like, hey, Doa, can I have a piggyback ride? I'd be like, Vin Diesel, you're like 100 pounds heavier than me. I mean, my muscles are gigantic, obviously, but I'm not that strong. So, sorry, Vin. If you're watching, no piggyback rides. I hope I didn't make Vin Diesel cry somewhere.
He's sitting in a pool of his own tears right now.
Right, I know. Why do we always hurt the ones we love? Well, Lulu having a great time in the mid lane. We're having a great time casting. And there's that zone again. OQ just stopped. Still gets that first CS though. That range helps out.
Funny little move on the ward placement right there. I'm not sure if it actually did much for them, but a very exciting pause coming out early right here.
Indeed, Xenics Storm with the pause early on in game number 1 of our wildcard group. And Alvingo leaving the game.
He's like, I didn't mean to pick Katarina.
And there's Google. That's right. It's like, all right, so there we go. Some fans of Google in the audience. All right, Alvingo takes some damage from Shrink here, jumping right back into it. And here we go. Google. It's tough to trade autos with Annie. You know she's going to be maybe running those hybrid marks. Those autos are going to hurt.
Well, probably Veigar's going to be running a similar thing, but level 2 gets hit by both at the same time.
All right.
It looks like he did get his Q as his second ability on support Veigar.
Yep. And that's just a little bit more burst. Railgun versus Ren in the top lane.
Going about as you would expect it, you know, Shyvana a little scared to farm right there instead, just backing out from the waves.
I was happy when we had Ren playing last time and I mentioned Pirates of Dark Water and people actually knew what I was talking about.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Well, go Google it. You should. It's good for you. And so the spot lane, a bit of a stalemate. The thing is you know, these unorthodox support picks really do make you think a lot in this bottom lane. And it's tough when you're already having a struggle with team communication, team synergy to deal with that. And here we go, Railgun getting jumped on by Vin. Railgun just getting burst down. There's the Ignite. Vin, will he make it out? Yes, first blood goes to Ren.
Perfect play right there. That's exactly the right timing for that. Really good setup right there from Xenics Storm, and this is where this lane becomes really problematic and why I really like the Pantheon-Renekton combo.
I think it's quite good.
Early on.
Oh, Google. Hanging out, there's the Event Horizon onto OQ. That's a nice amount of poke there. And Beaker does have that nice passive where he regens mana as well, so a little bit more sustained than you would think.
Yep, just a little bit of harassment, but that hurts. It hurts early on.
Oh, Google, you are crazy, man. Getting stunned.
Miss on the Boomerang Blade right there. Both members getting relatively low in mana, though, so maybe a little bit more careful about orchestrating those trades at the same time. But OQ and Ink still up on CS, feeling good about their position in the lane, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Renekton coming back to lane with a pickaxe, so that's going to be really tough for Shyvana to deal with. Shyvana getting another Doran's item just for the early game stats.
Wow. Yeah, Ren looking really good in that top lane right now, and I feel like lately we've really seen Rengars do well against Shyvana, you know? It seems like, Renekton's, not Rengar. Rengar doesn't really do very well against nearly anybody at the moment, but Renekton, that's a different story.
Yeah, Renekton's one of the strongest picks available right now. If you want to have that strong early game.
Oh, here we go. They're coming in. Oh, he misses the Event Horizon. Oh, you can't do that.
Well, good stun there by Ink as well to stop everybody cold.
Yep. Yeah, doing his job. Not bad.
Easy
And
disengage. And
Ever getting a little bit low on mana here.
well, Pantheon still moving through the jungle. Nothing too exciting after that initial gank. I guess he feels like the snowball is going well enough in that top lane for the moment. And going to focus on farming to 6.
Catching OQ a little bit there. Lucky OQ didn't have turret aggro. Whoa, Ink taking a lot of damage here despite that shield. Ignite getting activated by Google just to push him back.
A little bit dangerous, but they still got that long-range farm advantage, so they should be doing okay. Although Lee Sin coming back down. They're just trying to push this wave and clear so they can town.
Super, super aggressive lane. There's a ward. Lee Sin coming over the wall. And will he land that Q? There it is. He will with that Event Horizon. Google jumped on a nice stun. Coming in, Vin enters the fray as well, and he's going to turn this fight around. Or will he? Support's both dead. Yeah, Shrink has to flash. Ever in big trouble. There's the Q. Doesn't connect with OHQ. OQ, rather.
And Alvingo with the cleanup kill on the roam.
Yep.
So great turnaround there by Vin. In the right place at the right time. Didn't even yet have his ultimate, and now Ren able to proxy farm a little bit.
Yeah, it seems Xenics Storm just straight up outplaying Godson on all fronts right now.
Yeah, impressive swing in terms of gold. Widow at least getting some damage down onto the mid turret.
Yeah, 2,000 gold lead in 7 minutes. That's not good for Godson.
It is certainly not.
Uh-oh. Glitterlands. I always do that when I'm on Skype with my friends playing Lulu. You gotta say the name of the ability when you use it.
BF sword already, and a longsword to boot, so both carries approximately in the same position, but OQ, pretty big CS lead right now. And actually, it's only going to get harder.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Vin starts to do right here. He's got level 6, his first ultimate. Maybe on this bottom lane so they can continue to snowball this advantage, but Google and Ever playing really far back, just trying to freeze right now. Ink gets caught a little bit.
Yeah. A bit of damage.
Yeah, they're so scared right now. They're extremely scared of Pantheon ults.
Yeah. And they should be, you know?
Yeah, they're playing very, very far back.
Yeah.
But Pantheon may look to head up into top lane, actually. No, actually, Railgun just using the pushed wave as a chance to town. So Godson is playing smart with the Pantheon Global up at the moment. They're not giving any opportunities.
Right.
Just trying to farm out as safely as possible and hope they can make it into the late game. But
It's a pretty big CS deficit for Ever already.
yeah, it's not looking good.
Well, Google doesn't catch anybody.
Just more farming, at least for the moment. A couple wards being placed down by Vin around the mid lane so he can keep track of where Shrink is and his movements on the map.
Yeah.
Katarina now returning. Has completed her Haunting, guys. That's a really big item on Katarina. She's actually has a lot more kill potential now.
Ever and Google. Now the lane pushed up a little bit. Meanwhile, things happen at the top lane.
Just Tiamat harassment constantly.
Yep. Ren's getting that edge, getting that stronger push, and again, you know, we see that CS lead. Typical Renekton Shyvana matchup, but where things go from here is where what matters. Right?
Yeah. Well, Ink and OQ just happy to farm in zone. They already have that tremendous CS lead.
Yeah.
And as long as they're here, it keeps Google and Ever terrified of Pantheon. So this is where they want to freeze the lane. It's working in a really good way for them so far.
Certainly is. 30 CS lead already. 37 CS.
Yeah, it's
wow.
It's huge. And the thing is, Pantheon gets to farm while he's doing it right now. This is one of those situations where the threat of the gank is actually doing more damage than probably the gank itself would.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it. Here comes Pantheon coming into the mid lane. Gonna jump right onto Widow. Widow gets absolutely smashed. Oh, that's a nice wild growth. Pushes Vin away a little bit. Again with that Dragon's Rage. Widow low. Looks like he'll make it out. Will Shrink turning around, trying to get there so that Railgun can help out. Widow came back in the lane. That was not a good idea. Vin should be able to pick up this kill. He will. Meanwhile, Shrink fighting Wolves.
Ha! Renekton actually gets the kill. All he did was have to put down the Ignite right there.
Yep.
He was trying to sustain a little bit with Iron Will, but did not work.
Yep.
Unfortunately for him. And Widow right there, actually Ink had a great roam because he took tower aggro. That was some really good communication between the support and jungle of Xenics Storm to arrange the tower hits to go over to Ink, and then able to pick up a kill off of that.
Google not really doing any damage at this point with this poke. Unfortunately, Dark Matter has become doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the thing. Support Veigar is very specialized in what he does, and he's good. He is good with siege compositions because his ult does a surprising amount of damage.
Yep.
For a support, so you can zone with the cage and then poke with your ult and be part of a composition. It works best, like I said, with Nidalee and Caitlyn, though. Not a lot of synergy with the composition that he's got right now, unfortunately, for God's Sin.
Bingo continues to farm in that mid lane, even on CS with Widow at the moment.
Trap's going up right here, right in front of Caitlyn, in case there's a Lee Sin there.
Yeah. Whoa, Tibbers in response. Look at that. Google in trouble. They're going to come in. Dragon's Rage away. OQ. And Shrink turning this one around. Flash forever. Here comes Vin, though. A double kill forever, and they're going to back off. Really nice. They went. Xenics Storm went
too aggressive.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, but Katarina's here. She's got resets. Here's the ult.
Here comes Vin. He's going to come in with his ult as well. Katarina gets that kill immediately onto Ever, and Google a bit low manages to make it out. Vin not really too impactful there, but they got a bit of revenge.
Down at the same time. Bottom lane will go in favor of Xenics quite quickly. They're not actually going to go for the Dragon off of this.
Okay.
Widow looking to roam up into top. Ren took the top tower with some proxy farming and a little bit more pressure. Widow thinks better of it, backs off.
Huh.
So a bit of a mistake right there. They really overcommitted to that, and you
It
were
was close.
it's one of those things. You're already winning lanes so hard.
Yeah, you don't need to make those
Not
decisions.
worth the risk.
Yeah. Ren chases, wants to get that kill onto Shrink. He's not going to be able to get it. Vin right there, helping out. Google in the mid lane.
Yeah, just some more counter jungling right here. This Renekton is huge as well.
Yeah.
Couple kills already onto him. Wow, be pretty problematic. So everything looking still good for Xenics Storm in spite of some sloppy diving.
Yeah. Johnson holding on a little bit. They at least finished the Bloodthirster onto Ever. He was able to get
dive
that.
coming in, or they're going for the Dragon.
I think
actually.
the Dragon, yeah.
A little bit dangerous actually with the bottom lane pushed up like it is. Close to their tier 1 turret.
Looks like they'll get away with it though. Just not enough wards out for Johnson right now to really tell what's going on. There's the Dragon.
드래곤을 처치했습니다.
Easy. And that's a 4,000 gold lead now in 14 minutes.
Pretty massive.
Yep.
It's really, I'm actually surprised that Ever has been able to kind of keep up in terms of items, you know, getting his Bloodthirster at approximately the same time as OQ.
That double kill was huge.
Yes,
for him.
really turned things around.
Helped out a lot.
He would have been down forever otherwise.
Yeah.
That's the problem with a decision like the one Xenics Storm made, is that the advantage it gives you if you get a kill right there is not so much, but the advantage that it gives them, and here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Got canceled.
I was going to say, yeah. Checks the brush.
So the advantage that it gives them to get them back in the game, if it happens to reverse, is just massive. So there's just no need to make those kind of risky calls. Nice thing about canceling the Pantheon ult too is it comes back up so incredibly quickly.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you don't get penalized
You don't have
too much for that.
You don't have to really commit to it at all, which is great.
And things just really...
I'll just continue to zone them out. They're not interested in taking this turret. They're interested in inflicting a world of hurt on Ever and Google.
Yep, anytime they try to push up, poking from Caitlyn comes in. That's just not too good. Yeah. And they don't even need to really take that turret yet. They could, but they know they'll have more opportunities for kills in the bot lane. And, you know, as long as the situation exists. they can deny, so much from Ever and Google.
Yeah, they continue to move in right here, just playing it safe. They're not getting anywhere near that turret so that they can't have that same
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Widow flashes, look at that.
perfectly fine.
Yeah, I would
Make
trade
that trade.
Pantheon's ult for a flash any day.
And Renekton's still putting a lot of pressure up here on the top lane. He's been safely farming at the tier 2 turret, just nothing they can do so far. Although Railgun is doing okay in terms of keeping relatively up there with CS.
Oh, yeah.
He's not getting rocked, really.
Google picked up that ability tome, actually, for a little bit more poke, a little bit more damage.
Yeah, it's an interesting pickup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to turn into a Sheen more than likely, so.
Yeah, well, we did see, Widow, a little bit of trouble. There's the stun. There's a wild growth. He's going to be fine.
That was not a good Katarina ult right there.
Not exactly.
You have to make sure you're out of range of the knock-up from wild growth if you want to do that one. So, But they traded ult for ult.
So, all right. So, yeah, I mean, the ability tome nice. And we noticed too, Google before, prefers just building damage items or tanking items. He doesn't really buy a lot of support stuff. Ink taking some damage. There's some poke coming out from Google and Ever.
Yeah, still.
Oh, Tibbers onto Google. Again, just trying to force him off the turret this time. Oh, Google's so low. Do they have ace in the hole?
They do have it available. It's going to get blocked right now, and they see Drake coming in.
Oh, they didn't grab him.
Pantheon
A
is
little
here.
bit off, yep. Yeah, they're just going to take this turret. There it is.
Renekton's still providing a lot of pressure on tier 2. I'd love to see the HP up there because he's probably getting quite low.
Yeah.
His Katarina pick really hasn't worked out.
No, he hasn't really been able to make any of the roams happen that you want to do with Katarina.
I mean, he picked up a couple kills, but the thing is that he lost the mid turret, and there's 0 kill pressure onto Lulu with the Katarina in the mid lane. So the ganks have just not done hardly anything at all. And yeah, I feel like there would have probably been better picks here to keep things a little bit more even in this mid lane. But he tried to counter pick Lulu with it, so he must feel confident in that matchup for whatever reason.
Well, you know what the Katarina pick tells me, Monte Cristo?
What?
Vel'Koz has a chance. Because you were just talking about how Katarina not picked very much because of that channel ultimate.
Vel'Koz does have a place in niche composition.
Oh, Google just gets destroyed. Or what? Okay, they're like, here, have a kill, I'll think of. That was kind of funny.
Go ahead, feed your Katarina.
There's nothing wrong with that, yeah. If you're going to have a Katarina on your team, make sure she's well fed.
And Oki just continue to press up this bottom lane. They've got the good ward coverage there, so using Caitlyn's range and the continued dominance of Oki over Ever in order to apply more objective pressure. And seems to be working out. Oki taking a little bit of damage right there from the Boomerang Blade. They're going to get blue as well.
Yep. Ink takes out that turret with the sweeping lens. The slow strangling of Godson continues by Xenics Storm. A 60 CS lead now for OQ. Wow.
Huge.
Yeah, they've destroyed this lane. Would have been even worse if Ever hadn't gotten that double kill. There's the Timberson. Google comes back in the lane. And then Horizon comes down, but Vin is entering the scene. Jumps onto Google immediately. There's a kill there. Ever backs off. Vin taking a lot of turret damage. Ever not able to make anything out of that, but Shrink can. They managed to trade there.
And Ever kills OQ under the turret. Again, way too aggressive.
Yeah. Shrink chasing down Ink now. And gonna wait for that last stun. Oh, here comes Widow. Yeah, they'll be able to secure that.
Xenics Storm is giving Godson a way back into this game due to very bad turret dives that we're seeing right here. They gave up the dragon as well because of that. So their gold lead cut by a significant amount. And that's the second time they've made a very similar mistake this game. It's really something that they should have learned after the first one went so awry, but they continue to take risks that are far too great.
Yeah.
instead of playing it out safely.
Let's watch this one again. OQ.
Yeah, so Google goes in and gets it, and then OQ goes way too hard right here.
Oh, wow, netted. Dude, barrier.
Yeah.
Well, kind of a bit of a sloppy game, but so far, Xenics Storm in the lead, but for how long? You know, a few mistakes like that, and Ever will come back in a big way.
Yeah, and Shyvana's still scary. Shyvana's now
definitely.
not down by as much as you might think, and I do think it's odd that Shyvana is going for what appears to be a random Omen next instead of getting a blade, just because you need Shyvana to carry you out of this situation right now, because the damage from your own carry is not going to be tremendously high.
And you've got that Lulu ultimate as well, so you can skip on some of the tankiness that you normally would need.
Exactly.
Oh well, who knows?
But it's okay. It'll still help deal with the Caitlyn. You know, having a faster Randuin's, you can get back into the back line. Will cut the Caitlyn's damage by
Even
a
more.
large amount. So.
Well, top lane.
World of Tanks continues.
Yep.
Here and in every other League of Legends game on the planet.
Oh yes.
No, Renekton backing off a little bit right there.
Let's watch more of this.
I know.
You know, someday we're gonna get a blind pick game, and we're gonna have the Mundo Mirror in top lane. It's gonna happen.
I know, it's going to be glorious.
Oh, it's gonna be something.
Sonya's Hourglass down onto Albingo now, so they are able to at least pick some fights. Probably do okay, but they're really not pressing their advantage. Xenics Storm is just farming it out right now. They're not rotating into, oh, there we go. Finally, Caitlyn moving into the mid lane to try and get this down, but they don't have the safety of a turret to back them up. Renekton now coming as well.
Yeah. Google's gotten 4 assists at this point. He's been able to pick up the Fiendish Codex and his boots mobility as well, so he's getting a little bit scary here. Big push into mid lane. Can Xenics Storm take this turret? We'll see. Ooh, the Yordle wall.
Yeah, getting some good damage onto the tower at the very least. And, but now the wave clear will be here from Sivir. Pantheon making a move. They probably shouldn't dive it this early. Instead, they should just continue this split push and make it difficult for Godsin to defend the towers. But
I agree.
Renekton doesn't have to be here. He could actually just go back into top lane and split push a little bit more.
Yeah, especially because the lane not really going too much in Xenics Storm's favor at the moment. But everybody in the mid lane, that's where the action's at. So that's where Ren is.
Or lack of action, depending.
That's where the lack of action is. Not everybody's in the mid lane. There will be action. I guarantee it.
With Sivir, their main 4 wave clear leaving, no farm at bottom. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, there we go. Railgun coming in. A good tip for Sun Widow in big trouble here. Ren over the top of everything. Railgun not able to do a whole lot. Shrink doing what he can, but it looks pretty good for Xenics Storm. They get the turret. They get 3 kills. Widow made it out somehow, but a double kill for OQ. Oh, nice block from Ever.
Yeah, spell shielding the Caitlyn ultimate while Caitlyn took a bunch of tower
damage.
damage.
But then being too close, getting grabbed. There's a barrier, gets burned through, and the damage just piles onto Ever. That's a near ace. Oh, make that a even closer to a near ace.
Well, right there.
Oh wow,
yeah.
That was close. I thought Widow was going down.
I haven't been overly impressed with Xenics Storm coordination on their dives this game. The first one was okay up in top lane on Renekton, but other than that, they've been getting themselves killed an awful lot and taking a lot of unnecessary tower damage. They're coming in right there, right onto Widow. Ren is, of course, super fed, and OQ able to just hunt down Google around the outside.
Yep.
Sonya's Hourglass going down right under the turret, but OQ flashes to the side and is able just to deal some damage. Takes him a little longer than it should have to take down that tower as well.
Yeah.
But this right here, this ace in the hole, basically OQ took half his HP bar and turret damage right there just to get it spell shielded, so certainly not worth it.
You know, and the thing is, we kept talking about how Google needed to use that Event Horizon, needed to use that cage to stop the ultimate from Alvingo to lock people up, and he didn't. He's too trigger happy on it, and that allowed all the ultimates to go through. And yeah, that's the trick. And the reason I point that out is not to pick on Google, but just to talk about if you're going to play the support Veigar, these are things you need to be concerned about.
Yeah. Oh man. OQ already has an infinity edge on top of everything else.
OQ.
25 minutes into this game, and there's the ult coming in.
Yeah, Ever getting leaped on. There's Ace in the hole as well to help out. Ever will survive, but a lot of damage. And that'll help them take out this dragon. No chance at all of Godson coming in on this one. At least I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, they may try it just purely out of desperation.
Yeah, they may kind of need to. And they're going to actually... Xenics Storm is going to back off.
Now they're waiting for Renekton to show up from the top lane, but
yeah.
No Sivir ultimate right now, so it would be risky for Godson to engage this.
Well, they're going to take the offensive position around the dragon. Google looking for an opportunity. And Q onto OQ, but no chance for a follow-up. That was a dangerous moment. OQ probably got a little bit worried when that happened.
So are they going to engage right now? Google now just rounding the corner. There's been a lot of opportunities to engage it for both teams.
Yep.
Nobody taking it, though.
Yeah, both teams look a little bit scared. Alvingo on the outside doesn't want to get caught by anything. Wants to come in after the CC to get that Death Lotus off.
They really should just engage while Sivir ult is down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is it. Do or die. The hopes and dreams of Champion Spring is in this team fight. For Godson and Xenics Storm. Dragon gets activated. Damage onto Godson. And will they engage going into Dragon? They're going to try to burst it down. Alvingo went all the way up to the middle of top lane. There's Event Horizon. They do grab Dragon. Ink a bit low. Google, there's the Tipper Sum. They do take out Ink. Ren in the back line being annoying. Oh, there's a Death Lotus. Railgun trying to get a double kill for Railgun actually already. Godson chases. Alvingo made a gigantic error going way up in the mid lane. As soon as Godson saw that, they were all over that dragon. Well, they had the 5v4.
Ink also just totally screwed up his timbers as well. And there was finally a good Event Horizon in there from Google to help focus down Ink before he could provide CC. But honestly, it was waiting to fight until Sivir ult came back up. That was another tremendous mistake, because the mobility that was afforded allowed them to capitalize on Alvingo's map movement.
Yeah, Godson only 2,000 gold down now.
Xenics Storm they're performing individually very well in their lanes, but their coordination and decision making is not good this game.
And you got to be worried about whoever makes it out of here against whichever Alienware team makes it through their match next too.
After watching both of these teams, you have to say that one of the Alienware teams is going to be the favorite to get this wildcard slot.
I agree completely. There's a great Event Horizon, getting both Andy and Renekton.
Yeah, and they focus standing down really well. You can see the Veigar ult coming down on her also, so some good work done right there. And then he just tries for a desperate Timbers because he's nearly dead and has to do something.
Yeah.
But Shyvana's right back into this game right now, and she's able just to hunt down Caitlyn in the back lines by herself.
Really, really nice, and nice chain of events for Godson, and they are back in this game 100%. Only slightly down now, not really to the point where it even matters. Ren and Railgun still fighting it out.
Yeah, Shyvana definitely coming into her own at this stage of the game right now. You can see her. She's getting closer and closer to that Blade of the Ruined King. Renekton is going to have a hard time dealing with her.
Yeah. They have Godson. Oh, wow. Railgun gets jumped on. Okay. Godson has a lot of ways to deal with Katarina as well. You've got Whimsy. You've got the ultimate from Shyvana.
Katarina was really a terrible pick.
I agree. And here we go. Veigar coming down. Will he land? He will. Jumping onto Ever there, but they'll turn onto him immediately. Alvingo in the middle of everything. Can he get enough damage off? He can. Widow. Very, very low. Timbers dropped as well. Ever still looking good. He could clean up this fight. Could Shrink and Railgun are in the back lines. And Event Horizon locks up 3 members of Xenics Storm. Ever takes people down. OQ gets a kill himself. Now the turnaround comes in from Xenics Storm. Google takes a big shot from Ace in the hole. And it looks like Alvingo and Vin will be able to clean up this team fight. Triple kill for Alvingo that time.
Yeah, getting the resets there and splitting up the team fights so that Katarina could actually do some work.
Well, that was a back and forth fight right there, too.
Yeah, it was, but there's a big difference in that fight because Xenics Storm was actually able to land some of their CC that time around, which isn't what happened the first time. And we did see Vin do a really good job of tying up Ever in the back lines. It also forced the wild growth to be used onto Sivir.
Wow, they are going for a Baron.
Oh, easily. They can do it quite quickly.
Yeah, everybody at low health. Everyone coming back up on Godson. No global, so I suppose that is going to be about it. Very impressive from Xenics Storm. Decided to go further. They know that inhibitor is going to be vulnerable for the rest of the game, you know, so why not grab that Baron buff?
Yep, take it right now, go back, heal up, get those items, and then push straight down the mid lane.
Yeah, not to mention if they had stuck around for that inhibitor, then had to go back, that would have opened up a Baron opportunity for Godson as well.
Well, not a lot to do right now except for push down the mid. It's like Ren. This is a little bit dangerous, actually.
This game he's Ren Necton.
Ren Necton.
Oh, I can't believe we didn't see that till now. part of the champion's name is his name.
Amazing.
That's right. Railgun. Must have played a lot of Quake back in the day.
I haven't played Quake in a long time.
You, man. Quake 3 Arena. Best FPS ever. Just calling it.
Really? You're a big Halo fan, though.
I am, and I'm a big Counter-Strike fan as well, but Quake 3 Arena always holds a special place in my heart.
Okay, so Xenics Storm needs to use this Baron to actually accomplish some objective control right here. All they've done so far is try and hold off the top lane getting destroyed, and instead kind of waste a lot of Baron time and then lose the top tower anyway. You just let it go at that point. If they want to split push top while you're pushing their inhibitor, who cares?
That's right. Who cares? Let's see if I care. I don't care. Do you care?
No.
Me neither. Who cares?
I give no cares.
That's right.
And neither should Xenics Storm. So now they're moving up into the mid lane.
Yep. They don't care.
Clearing out some wards as they go along.
Yep. And here we go. The wall of traps being put down by OQ rather. And there goes the inhibitor. No chance of defending that. Godson going one step closer to being eliminated from the qualifiers.
Other lanes are not pushed up, however, so it does buy them a little bit of time. They're not going to find a blue buff there, so instead heading over and around. Taking white on the way.
Yeah, they're going
or not.
Okay. All right. They're like, it's all white. We don't need it.
It's all white.
No. Horrible. Mind is starting to go.
Well, we are in our 6th game.
We are,
consecutive game of casting League of Legends. So this is where it starts to happen. This is where we get loopy.
Yep, a little bit. That's the plan. Maybe not the plan. That's the inevitability.
That's the reality.
That's right.
Taking Dragon on their way out. 8K gold in the lead. And
at least we don't have a player named Crack this time.
No, that's next game.
That's right. It is, isn't it? Crack returns.
The return of Crack.
Oh, well.
I can never get enough Crack, Doa.
Crack may be whack, but it will be back. Game 2. Who will light him up this time? Well. Oh, wow, look at the damage. Said Doa sarcastically.
Support Vagar, not known for putting out the deeps.
So sad. Although I will say support Vagar it's exciting to me, but it is a support I won't play because he just doesn't have any damage.
Good with each gun. That's about it.
Good, but if you're playing solo queue, you want to get kills, man. Vagar appears bloodthirsty, but he's actually not. If you can't steal kills with him, he's not bloodthirsty.
Well, since Pantheon split push working well, he can always ult over into that bottom lane should he need to. They've put Ever up there. They can dive this perhaps.
I think they will dive that. Vin coming in. There's Timbers as well. Google gets destroyed. Meanwhile, the dive continues. Railgun chasing OQ. Took a lot of turret damage yet again. Swag walking out of there and Shrink backing off a bit. Ren takes a lot of turret hits, and this is so sloppy by Xenics Storm. Wow. Whoa, what the heck was that?
They only got one kill onto the support. Their fire was really split up between a lot of different targets, and they're not peeling very well for OQ either. This Shyvana keeps getting into the back line and chunking him out of fights.
Yeah, no kidding. I think he took a lot of turret aggro too. I want to see the replay to see if that was right, but I believe I caught a glimpse of that.
Really could be executed better by Xenics Storm, and now they lose a lot of the pressure that they had.
Yeah. That was more like Xenix mild rain. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at this again. So they come in on the Pantheon ultimate right here, and
Peacemaker.
yeah, go down onto Google, but then again, there's just no heal for Oki right here. Alvingo moving forward, not able to do a whole hell of a lot. Shyvana will get out of that situation, then a tower kills Annie.
Wow. Well, a comedy of errors. Baron up in a minute 30, in case you can't read.
Well, should be a pretty easy setup again for Xenics Storm. They're already clearing it out in anticipations, trying to set up some sort of pick right here. But they're not going to be able to force it quite yet, and the inhibitor will be back up by the time Baron is available. So, Godsin will be able to actually contest that objective relatively well.
Xenics Storm pushing in. And they want that inhibitor. Will they be able to take it cleanly? The wave clear is quite good, but there's no turret to worry about really.
Pantheon starting to split push again. He's got his ultimate back up, so no worries there.
Yep. Both teams just kind of cautious, and Xenics Storm playing a little bit worried after that last engage.
I think their concern is reasonable.
I would say too. I would say that.
Slow pressure.
Yeah, real slow. Man. You could make pulled pork with the slow cooker of this game. Like an 8-hour game, am I right? Maybe not. Maybe 38 minutes. But.
Well, it just feels slow because Xenics Storm is, they've had an advantage this entire time, but
oh, here we go.
Here
okay.
we go.
Vin dropping in onto Ever with the Spell Shield and the Banshee's Veil. Vin gets grabbed immediately, hit with that Event Horizon. Timbers in the back line, so helps Alvingo pick up that kill. Ace of the hole comes through. Lulu saves Railgun with that Wild Growth. And 1 for 1, both Junglers dead. The inhibitor's going to go down. And they can't really finish off Ink. They hit him with the Glitter Lance, actually. Ooh. All right, a little bit of damage onto Ink.
Yeah, the difference is, though, that this is an advantage that they can continue to perhaps press right here.
Perhaps,
we'll see.
Yes.
But Ren actually was a lot better about healing for OQ in that engagement, which was a big difference. Previously, Ren was just diving into the back line, and now he's much more concerned with peeling Shyvana off, which I think is the better decision right there. You can sacrifice Finn. They nearly killed Railgun as well, so if they had killed Railgun, this would be an entirely different story. But close enough. They're backing off one more time. Baron's still live. Nobody choosing to do it quite yet, though. Railgun a little bit scared of that brush.
Yep. I would be too. You never know when there's like 5 Annies and 10 Timbers hanging out in that brush. Or really, I mean, a million Garens, you never know.
A million Garens in one brush. Truly the terror of League of Legends.
Know, right? Yeah. A Garen in every brush. The DP was quite high on that brush. The dude potential was off the charts.
Another dragon here for Xenics Storm.
Dragon potential for Xenics Storm. Different version of DP, I suppose.
Okay, and they'll go ahead and clear out the bottom wave as well, sending Pantheon down there, the right choice, just in case there's some sort of fight that happens, especially given how easy it is for Godson to force fights with Sivir Ultimate and Whimsy.
You think it was tough for the other stand cars to teach Pantheon how to fight? They were like, all right, well, here's the technique. And he's like, what if I just stab real fast?
Oh.
And here he comes. He's going to try it. They canceled the ult because they saw the Event Horizon coming down, and Ever blocks the ace in the hole.
Pantheon got in there, it just didn't do much.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, tried to force that engage, but the kiting just too strong. Oh, they're beautiful.
Three-man Tiberson, and they're going to engage Railgun. Coming back with it. Google a bit low. Ren chasing. They're going to take down Lulu. There goes Ever. The damage has gone, a double kill for Vin.
That's what they needed. So there was no more kiting with the Sivir Ultimate down.
That should be it.
Should allow Xenics Storm to close out this game.
I would imagine, yeah. I mean, you've got Shrink and Railgun still on the action. There's Google. Manages to trap some people with that Event Horizon. The fight happening. Shrink a bit low. Ink grabs that kill. Bloodthirsty support for him. He's up to 2 kills. Ooh. There goes the first Nexus turret. Second Nexus turret getting low as well. They're going to grab Google. And there he goes. And finally, the Nexus should go down despite the low health of Xenics Storm. And there it is. Xenics Storm advances to the finals of the Wildcard group. And Godson goes home.
So they've got one more shot. They could be only one more game under their belts before they can enter Champion Spring as the wildcard seed here.
Yeah, they will have to beat the winner of Alienware Arena versus Alienware Top. And that is going to be a painful match to watch for Alienware.